Hello everybody, we're here once again actually in the middle of Reading Museum, and we're actually here in the middle of Black History Month, and we're here particularly also because we're about to unveil a photograph which has been lent or loaned to Reading Museum from the National Portrait Gallery. And you might think, well, what's the connection? Because this is a picture of Paul Robeson, who probably almost everybody knows as a famous Black American singer. But there is a connection with Reading, and it's quite an important and timely one. And the connection is that in 1960, Paul Robeson came and sang here in the town hall, to much acclaim and highly popular. And it was timely because at that same time, a lot of people were coming across, particularly from the Caribbean, and settling in Reading. And so it had a resonance about it in terms of celebrating the people coming and also the fact that he was a famous speaker, singer and activist. So we're absolutely delighted to unveil this today, and we do hope that many, many of you come and see it, look at it and support what's happening in the museum this month. Thank you.
Right, over and above the unveiling of this portrait of Paul Robeson, we are actually celebrating the life of a man and the ideals that he stood for. Paul Robeson was also not only an entertainer who could, deliver his repertoire in 20 different languages, which is something Reading can identify with, but he was also a civil rights activist, and that activism took him all over the world. And he did not give up those ideals and the beliefs that he had. And I think it's a lesson for modern Reading to say that we are an international, we live in a global world and we are an international community, and that everybody is welcome. And we, the current residents of Reading, should strive to make everybody feel welcome wherever they come from. Thank you.
Hi there. This afternoon I'm absolutely delighted that we're here in Reading Museum, even virtually, to welcome the portrait of Paul Robeson here to Reading Museum. It was 60 years ago that Paul Robeson performed in a concert here in the town hall, and it was put on by the Reading and District Peace Organization. And that's really special. I think that just to think about 60 years ago, how embracing this town was to diversity, which was a challenge at that time, and to welcome Paul Robeson here to Reading to perform very famously as he did in the town hall. Paul Robeson also had a more serious side. You can tell from my American accent, he came from America. And he was led away from America, had to leave because his passport was removed. During the McCarthy era, he was labeled a communist, which was very unfortunate. But he was very passionate about racial rights and about human rights and workers' rights, and felt that all of those worked as one. So he came to Europe and to the UK, and he continued on his mission and wrote many interesting articles, essays, and books about that. So it's with great honor that we have this portrait here, and it just does bring home to me all that's good about Reading.
We're here obviously for the unveiling of the Paul Robeson portrait, which Paul Robeson came to Reading in the 60s. He sang at the town hall to my parents and that generation. A very interesting man. As Victor had said earlier, he spoke about 20 languages, but I think his work with the political activists and trying to get a better place for, I would say, black people in the 60s is something that should be commended to him. Obviously, in Black History Month, I'm proud that Reading Museum has decided to bring this portrait into coming home. Obviously, he is coming home as he has been here before, but it's a very good portrait, and on behalf of the Caribbean Association and the Black community of Reading, I'd like to thank Reading Museum very much for bringing this portrait to Reading. Thank you.